This podcast may contain views and opinions which are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any local agency, organization, union, employee, or company, including the podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Clock Shop Talk.
What's up?
With myself, John Antolin, and George Lugo over there sitting on the other couch. What's going on, George?
I'm all right, man.
You hanging in there?
Yep.
Still got the knee wrapped, I see.
I do. But not using crutches right now. Trying to get to distribute the weight evenly, since
Trying to build some strength back in there.
It's like when you get injured and you like pamper the one side gets injured. So now I got to learn how to put the weight back on both evenly.
Have you ever had like a cast or broke a bone or something?
I've never actually broken a bone. I fractured a few bones. Like this is not the first time I fractured something.
Yeah.
I fractured my wrist and I fractured my elbow, dislocated both my shoulders, and then I had a shoulder surgery on this one.
I don't think I've ever broken a bone clean.
Yeah,
I fractured
I've
a
never
lot of
broken
stuff.
one clean.
Fractured my foot, fractured and dislocated my pinky.
Did you have to wear that?
My shoulder twice.
Did you have to wear that metal splint?
Actually, no. It was so bad they put me in a cast.
Oh shit!
Like this. So these two fingers were free. Like when he was putting it on, the doctor was like, "I want you to pretend you're holding a can of soda." I was like, "Okay." So
You're
I
like,
was
it's really
this.
beer.
Or, yeah, it was really beer. So I was like this, and then these two fingers were free, and these were all casted up. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Should've
Dislocated my
set your
shoulder
shit up
twice.
like a shocker. No,
Yeah, I used to do this shit all the time because I was like this. I'd be like, it was kind of funny. It was a thing I used to do. But yeah, I done that. But it kind of reminded me, you were talking about getting the balance, building the muscle and shit. Like when you have casts, like you get atrophy, right? Your muscles get atrophy because you don't use them. And it's weird, dude. Like I remember when I broke my foot, I broke that foot. And then when they took the cast off, like that calf muscle was like half the size of this one. And I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, that happened for the shoulder surgery, and a little bit for this because I was in one of those hard braces. So like it wasn't necessarily cast, but it literally my leg was like straight the whole time, so I couldn't like really bend it at all. Yikes. So when I finally got to take it off and actually get some freedom, I'm like,
Feels weird.
It definitely felt weird, and it was my calf was a lot smaller. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
I get it. But you got to build it back. You got to get back on that horse.
Yeah.
No more wrestling, though.
Like, no promises.
Well, that being said, I think we should probably address the elephant in the room. It's been a couple weeks again. Probably about a month.
It's been a little bit.
Been a little while.
And that has been in part like just with my injury and then just.
Well, it's not just you.
Just
it's
stuff
me,
at home. And
timing.
we have timings off a little bit right now for our studio.
A little bit busy.
Yeah.
We're a little busy here. We got a lot going on. For those of you guys in 952, you should know. I mean, I think we have, I want to say it's something like 13 contracts to negotiate this year, to which I'm doing 2 of them. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot to balance work, family life, all that stuff.
Yeah,
everything that everybody goes through out there. We go through in here. We're real people. We're not just robots.
Yeah, 100%.
So apologize, guys. But at the end of the day, we're here. We're going to try to make some content. We're going to try to put some stuff out. Especially, we got some guests coming up. Today it's just me and George, but we do have some guests lined up. We're excited. We got some big things in the works.
Yeah.
Also, this is the 99th episode.
Yeah. So 100th episode is coming out very soon. So just keep your eyes out for that. We're going to have some special guests and have some special topics. And I'm working on a fun giveaway. So
yeah, maybe some raffles.
Yeah. So just keep your eyes out.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
And I mean, we've tossed it around here, George. I mean, maybe we can let them know and see if we can get some comments or, some.
We don't have
drum up some.
Yeah. We don't have
support for it.
We don't have internet available at the studio, so it's like I want to do like a small live segment people can like comment and we can see it in real time.
It would be pretty cool.
So we're working on that. So
Yeah, we're working on that.
Hopefully we'll have that going for that.
We'd like to do some sort of event with you guys. Come hang out with Off the Clock Shop Talk. You know,
I'm thinking barbecue. Would be
barbecue, have some beers.
Cool. Yeah.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, 100 episodes.
100 episodes.
Pretty big. I mean, we've been doing it for a little over, what, a year and a half?
2 years, I think.
Years.
Total.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
We've definitely come a long way. I was like looking back at some of the, because I've got something special in the works. And I've been looking back at some of these old episodes. And I'm like, it's different.
It's definitely different. We've been doing it for a little while, and not saying that we're professional by any means,
No,
but
not
you
even
know,
close. Those guys release every week.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
No, but I mean, we try to put content out
Yeah.
there. We try to do our thing. We try to, I think we've kind of held to our initial thought on the show being like, we just want to get people excited, get them informed,
Yeah.
you know, bring you guys information. But we've had to balance that out with trying to get you guys some entertainment too. I mean,
Yeah,
who wants to spend an hour listening to a podcast when
it does
it's
get
just
boring.
like all
It
business?
does get boring.
You know?
And so unless you're really enticed or just you're craving that amount of information,
Yeah.
like most people usually tune that out because a lot of it's dull. You know, so we try to bring a little bit of entertainment with information.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like for sure.
So we're trying to give you some information, let you know about us, about our lives, what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's a balancing
a
act.
balancing
Yeah.
act for sure. But cheers to you guys out there. I wanted to say right off the top, obviously we're a couple minutes into the show, but happy Memorial Day. Thank you to those who gave the ultimate sacrifice
Thank you for that.
for us to do stupid shit like this.
Yes, you gave us our freedoms. That's
For
great.
real.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I didn't have the privilege of serving, but to those who did, cheers to you guys, and especially those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Here, here.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's get into the show a little bit, George. Obviously, you know, we're back on. It's election season.
Yeah, election's coming up,
Fuck elections.
so everyone's campaigning and all that.
Yeah, it's interesting time. You know, I think it's funny because myself and George appreciate the views during election season. I think we both kind of, you know, when we got into it shortly thereafter, we had the international election.
Yeah, that one
Right?
was big.
So it was like we got a lot of views, and then stuff kind of dropped off for a little while, and
It's
not a lot of
understandable.
people. Hey,
I
I
get
get it. People are interested in the stuff that's going
Yeah.
on. I'll tell you, it's my least favorite part about being a Teamster, and I love being a Teamster.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's actually, you know, just from talking to a lot of Teamsters, I'm out there quite a bit. It's pretty much everybody's least favorite part. I should say there are a handful that absolutely love it because they're shit talkers and instigators and
Yeah,
internet warriors and all this stuff. So,
yeah.
so fuck you to them. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know about you, George, but I grew up in a time where you can't just say fucking whatever's on your mind if
Well,
You don't have
we
the
grew up in
fucking-
the same time frame. So.
yeah. Well, I know, which is why I'm saying it. You can't just say shit and talk shit on people and be a dickhead without getting punched in the face. And I get it. We can't do that
all
now.
that's gone now, man.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it, but don't think I don't want to punch you in the face.
100%. You know,
And the time being right, no cameras, I might punch you in the face.
I get it. Like, the internet has like made people. It's made us weak. It's made people like weak and cushy. Like they can, and I understand the concept that the internet gave like everybody like a say. You know, like,
Yeah.
and that's like, hey, even the little guy gets to say something.
That's great.
But just because you have something to say doesn't mean it needs to be heard, or even that it's like prolific in any way. So it's like, if you don't have something important to say that's not addressing anything, why say anything at all? Because for one, all you do is instigate stuff, and then two, make yourself look stupid. So
Yeah.
I don't understand stuff like that.
It's just like the the excessive shit talking.
Yeah.
I can totally understand addressing an issue, whether that be, you know, some sort of grievance you have or
Yeah.
a gripe you have. I can totally
Valid
understand
points,
that.
yeah.
Valid points,
Yeah.
and I'm all for that. What I'm not for is people talking shit, calling people idiots, dumb, and fucking making up names for people, and
Yeah.
because then
Trolling
you're
and
just
shit, yeah.
then you're just trolling. You really get off on internet banging, and to me, it's like if you want to take it to that level, that's a different level to me.
Yeah.
Like that's a level. Okay, well then you're opening up for getting punched in the face. Like,
100%. Because real talk, I don't think you would say that to somebody's face.
yeah. oh,
Right?
we've noticed. We
Yeah.
have some shit talkers. I'll just say in our
Oh, I know.
local,
We
there's
know
a couple
some
of them. We know some of them.
Yeah.
I've talked to some of them,
Yeah.
and it's funny because you would never say that to my face
Yeah. 100%.
without a camera around. Well, I will clarify,
Yeah.
without a camera around.
Yeah.
And then it's up to me whether I balance out, do I want to go to jail or is it worth punching this motherfucker in the face? Because
I
at
feel like
some point,
90% of the time it would balance out where you want to
Yeah.
punch that dude in the face.
I just don't want to go to jail. But I get it. But at the end of the day, it's like, come on, guys. You're not going to do that in real life. So let's not be that. Let's bring up actual gripes, actual grievances, actual issues. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. But let's keep it clean. That's how I am, at least.
Yeah.
Because I don't talk shit on somebody unless I want to fight. That's me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not going to talk shit on you.
Yeah.
Nothing that I'm not gonna say to your
I don't
face.
honestly don't get the appeal. I just don't get the appeal.
Well, I think a lot of it is like what you said. It's the internet.
Yeah,
So the
it's the
internet
internet.
kind of gave rise to a group of people that maybe felt like they didn't have a voice, you know, but it's a pendulum, right? So it's like they maybe felt like they didn't have a voice prior. And instead
And
of
then
just
it's like
getting that
They
voice,
get a little bit,
yeah,
a little bit, and there you go. And now they have so much.
Yeah.
There it is. It's all
way the fuck
Look
over here. They're like, yeah, now you're just talking shit.
Now you're just talking shit.
So it's interesting, but it's my least favorite time as being a Teamster. That being said, it's here, right? It's election season.
Yeah.
Let's do it, at least for Local 952 and a lot of locals around. If you guys don't understand what's going on, for us here, it might not be for you. For you as a Teamster, it's going to be every 3 years for your local. Basically, what happens is you are voting for who is going to be, number one, your secretary treasurer, your president, your vice president, your recording secretary, and your 3 trustees. So that makes up the e-board or the executive board.
The executive
excuse me.
board, yeah.
That makes up the executive board, right? So they kind of are the administrators of your local, right?
The representation.
The representation, right? And then some of in your local, some of the BAs might actually have to run. They don't have to run in our local. Those are kind of, you know, jobs that are appointed or whatever, hired. In some locals, you have to also elect your BAs. That's not the case in 952, but that's what's going on right now. It's coming up here for 952 in October. You know, we'll have nominations in September, and then we'll go from there. It looks like there's a few slates running. I think 3 slates are openly at least campaigning at the moment. We'll see during nominations how they feel about moving forward and all that stuff. But that's what's going on. And if you guys aren't in an election cycle, you will be, or you should know what's going on. So for new Teamsters, this is what happens every 3 years. Your local has to, you know, your administration has to run, and then you kind of sort it out from there. Whoever wins, they run the local, and that's the way it works, right?
Yeah.
That's your representation. So you have the opportunity to vote. So one thing I will say is get out there and vote.
100%.
Right.
Get out there, vote. Go to your general meetings so you
Yes,
can hear
general membership meetings.
Go to
Cheers to
general
that.
membership meetings. Yeah, so that way you know what's happening, and in theory, both sides should be there talking about their stuff, or and also if that's not being spoken there, just go like off site where they're and learn the information.
Yeah. And it's tough. I'll be honest. I mean, think about voting for U.S. politics, right, or for U.S. Senate and Congress and president. I mean, I would say it's way more than half, probably like 80-90% of people don't know what the fuck they're voting for.
I agree. No, I 100% agree.
It becomes a
It
popularity
becomes like
contest.
it becomes a hearsay of like, what should I vote for? And they talk to like a friend. They're like, what are you voting for? They're like, this and this and this. And they're like,
That sounds good.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
You know?
No real research.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough within your normal life. You got your job. You got this. Do I have time to figure out what these? For me,
It's worth the time, though.
It is. It is very much worth the time. And if your administration within your local is doing their jobs and getting things done, I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, if there's a real gripe, you got something you're worried about, whether they're not addressing grievances or doing this or doing that, then I get it.
Yeah, then maybe a changing of the guard makes sense at that time.
I think it was when Eric took over, you know, and I'm a little biased. I'll admit I'm a little biased. Obviously, you know, Eric hired me. I'm, you know, one of the business agents, and that being said, I still think that Eric does a damn good job.
I mean,
He's woke up a lot of the membership. He's gotten people active,
I have to agree with that
involved.
because I was not very involved with I've been working for them for UPS for 20 years. I've been a Teamster for 20 years, and I never went to any meetings. No,
Well, how could you? They were on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock.
I know, but like also, I wasn't really informed about it. I didn't even know who my union reps were.
Yeah.
With the exception of one, I only knew one union rep, and that was Sonny, and he wasn't always available. And like,
Yeah.
I barely ever saw Grant, and when I did,
I remember Sonny.
And when I did, it was usually around election season, and it's like, of course, they come around then. You know, it's like, so the representation, I felt like at the time, just for our local, it wasn't really there. It's
kind of lacking.
Like, it was lacking. And I felt after the administration change, there's a huge difference. The presence is there.
Yeah.
Issues are being addressed. I know who my representatives are, you know, and like, and that a total dynamic, the dynamic shifted entirely. And I felt like now, like, I got the representation that I definitely have always wanted, and I appreciate that. And I can't imagine it going back to the way it was.
Yeah, I would hope not. You know, like I said, I hate the popularity contest aspect of it, but it is what it is. You know, you gotta do this, and I will say I think Eric's doing a great job. Eric, John Green, freaking awesome dude. These guys have really made a change within 952.
I agree.
So I hope it continues, but hey, you know, vote the way you're going to vote. It is what it is. I say members first, but hey.
Yeah, I agree.
So that being said, I think the next couple episodes are going to be kind of based on some politics. And I wouldn't say we're going to get into the weeds. I think we've done a fairly good job on this show of being unbiased. You know, I said earlier that I'm a little biased, and I would not retract that statement. But at the end of the day, I think we've done a good job on the show of giving people a fair shake. I always have. I mean, I think when I, became a business agent, and obviously I was hired by a certain administration, right? Even the people that were against us, I don't think anyone can say I didn't give them a fair shake.
Yeah.
That I've never done that.
Yeah. I mean, we've also tried to even get like opposition up here and then get like a mediator, an unbiased one. I mean, I think that would be kind of cool, like to just try and hear both sides, because everyone has their own political beliefs and opinions and all that. And it is what it is, obviously. So people obviously think that we're like all for only one side. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. I'm for the opinion of technically anyone could make a difference. Now, is the change needed? I don't know.
Well, I will say that people run and are trying to win, and I would say the same even for Eric, that we didn't really understand. Nobody can understand the amount of responsibility, the amount of work, the amount of just what a life-changing job this is. And
Yeah.
if you know, these guys on the internet and these trolls and, you know, people that want to talk, I'll be honest, a lot of them aren't willing to step up and do the job, number one. Number two, if they did, I think they'd get a rude awakening of what this actually is and what this entails and how much your personal life will be affected, your family. It's something that's just kind of fucking crazy, and you don't know what you're asking for. You really don't.
I agree.
Unless you've done the job,
I agree.
you do not know.
I've seen the way like you guys all work, and at the drop of a hat, things need to be done, and it's like you literally are like kind of on call 24/7, you know, and your personal life is affected by it. It's 100%. Insane. I've noticed even like from becoming a shop steward how much of my life is affected by it. Like it's wild.
Yeah,
and that's a stepping stone. That's the first stepping stone.
Well, I think if you look back on the episodes, right? We've talked about this before. You look back on the episodes that we talked to Carla when we were talking to Carla, and she was kind of explaining it like it's like you're in a room and there's a closet door, and you think you know what's behind that closet door, and you open that door and it's a warehouse.
It's a warehouse, yeah.
You know, you're like, wait, what the fuck?
What the fuck is in here? I didn't know we had this.
Yeah, and I think that can really kind of explain the job, like, you know, and it's that with every level of this job as well. Yeah. So, you know, you being a steward, you kind of get a little glimpse and you're like, this is fucking bullshit. And I'm taking calls all the time. I'm trying to do my route. You know what I mean? And there was days, dude, as a steward, fucking would not get off the phone. Now, granted, I always had my fucking earpiece in, and, you know, I was doing my
calls
thing
all the time, yeah.
But just constant calls after calls, and I was just like, my goodness, what's going on? These guys, fucking A, you know. So it was a little glimpse, you know. And then when I got offered this job, it was like, okay, I mean, I take calls all the time, anyways. Fucking A, this is like times 10.
Yeah.
You know, and then you talk about the aspect of traveling, UPS panels, you know, all this stuff, time away from your family, like all that shit gets crazy, dude. So good luck to you out there. If you really do want this job, it is get ready to change your life. I'll tell you that much.
And I think they don't understand what the job like really entails, right? So it's like the job is kind of like you're our representation for contracts like being abused.
Yes.
Right. So it's like people primarily call you when they're being abused. So of course they're already upset, you know. So it's like when people are like, "Oh, this isn't getting done," it's like, "Well, there's a process. This is how it takes." It's like, "Oh, you never do anything." It's like there's a procedure, and it just takes time. And, you know, people don't understand that aspect of it, and they always call you upset, and like, "Oh, you don't do things the right way." And it's like, well, this is how it's supposed to be done, and you just have to follow the process.
And it's tough too. I mean, it could be, I could save your job 1 week, and then the next week you're upset at me because
for
of grievance, whatever. You know what I mean? It's always, what have you done for me lately? That's this job.
Yeah.
I don't resent it. I know what it is at this point.
It is
I
what
know,
it is, yeah.
You know, it's all good. I do it for the little times the few and far between times, I guess I should say, that I really make a difference in somebody's life, where someone's out on the streets and they get fired, and I fucking work my ass off and put on a good case for them and get their job back, and they're super thankful. Those are the little things that I do it for, because that doesn't happen all the time. You know, most of the time we're dealing with upset people that are mad about, like you said, like a grievance or someone that goes out on disability and doesn't know the process. And we get people also that don't inform us right away about certain things.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then by the time we get to it, it's a fire.
Yeah,
by the time they inform us, it's a fire, and I'm trying to put out a fire, and I'm, you know, it's all different avenues, and I'm like, well, you got to do this. You were supposed to call these people like 3 months ago. Like, you know what I mean? It's tough. It is, you are like HR on steroids. You're a counselor. You're, a bunch of things. This job entails quite a bit, and I don't even want to get into the stuff that, like, the e-board has to deal with, especially,
I can't even imagine.
they have to deal with quite a bit. I mean, John, still a business agent. John Green, fucking awesome business agent. Plus, he's negotiating.
He's taking on
80% of our contracts.
I was just about to say he's taking like a chunk of everything.
Yeah. Plus, he still does his, president duties.
That's wild.
It's crazy, dude.
It's wild.
And I mean, I see these people.
So much work.
It's weird because I see people like literally give their whole lives to this job, and myself included. I think I probably give too much, but at the end of the day, I see these people just burning themselves out, trying to make people's lives better, and still get shit on sometimes, man. That shit is tough. That shit is tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you got the fucking keyboard warriors out there fucking talking shit. You're just like, oh, okay. I guess I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Right.
Well, whatever, dude. It is what it is. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Because I could go get back on the truck, man. I could go
100%.
Go back to
that's another thing. Like,
making more money and driving for UPS and not worrying.
That's another thing is like I feel like a lot of these guys are like they talk shit and then they don't care enough to go run to do it. So it's like
it's so funny, that we deal with that quite a bit, and it happens in every yard. I'm not going to be specific. It happens in every yard where you'll get someone complaining about a steward, right?
Yeah.
We don't like him. He doesn't do shit, blah, 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 blah. And then we'll be like, okay, well, we're going to put up, steward election. And no one will sign up.
And that guy wins again.
And I'm just like, dude, really?
Yeah.
You're like, he doesn't do shit. Number one, he doesn't get paid for it. Number two, he's dealing with his own job and everybody else's bullshit. Like, it's tough, but if you're going to sit there and complain, you better be ready to jump in the saddle.
I agree.
You better be ready to jump in the saddle. It's not too much to ask. I don't think, and I've heard all kinds of stuff. I heard some people that are running for office and this local say that this is a service. You pay your union dues and you're supposed to be served. And I'm like, you're full of fucking shit. First of all, you are the fucking union, so get the fuck involved. Period. Get involved. Come to the fucking meetings. Let me see you at a strike line before you start talking shit. Because I know guys that still work. Especially, I'll give it to them. Especially the Albertsons
dudes,
CVS. These guys fucking work their job, work 12 hours,
and some of them work the graveyard shift.
And we'll see them on strike lines
right after their shift.
All
hardcore
the fucking time.
Hardcore.
Those guys. Shout out to you guys. You guys know who you are. I'm not going to name all of you, but you guys know who you guys. You guys kick ass, and you guys inspire me.
100%.
But we get the shit talkers, and I'm like, I've never seen you on a strike line. I've never seen you doing extra stuff. Shit, I don't even see you at a meeting. So it's interesting. I hate this time. I hate politics. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But we're here. Here we are.
Yeah.
So how you doing, George?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hanging in there?
Hanging in there. You?
Same.
Yeah.
A little tired.
Definitely tired.
Obviously a little fired up today.
I mean, that always happens, like with the campaign time. Like we definitely get fired up, and because we get all that negative backlash, and it's like, well, if you guys want to make an improvement, then be the improvement. Yeah. Like if you're complaining, you should be the one stepping up about it. I mean,
I don't think that's too much to ask.
I mean, you want to complain and then expect someone else to step up for you? I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, we believe me, we hear it all. We've had a group that, lost a steward. No one wanted to step up, but everyone wanted to complain.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we're just kind of like begging, well, somebody step up then, because I can't do both. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's primarily the reason I became a steward in the first place, because I started having complaints, and I was like, well, I'm going to do what I can to make a difference. So.
And you have.
So.
Obviously, you're out right now.
Unfortunately.
Got a new steward in there helping out, new alternate.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yep.
Cool dude. But to your point, you know, if you are going to have some complaints, be ready to step up. It's kind of like
It's
almost
a simple. I feel like it's a simple request, right?
yeah, I would think so. But
It's like you
not everybody-
see an issue with what the program in play. So why wouldn't you fix that issue?
Yeah.
You're
Well,
relying on someone else to fix it for you. And funny enough, the person you're insulting to fix it for you.
yeah.
So that's
I think
kinda
I think it's a mindset. It really does kind of go back to what I was saying about somebody that looks at the union as a service.
Yeah.
If you look at the union as a service and not something that you personally are tied to, are part of, if you just look at it as I pay for this and it's a service, which I will tell you, you don't. You pay for everything else. You pay your union dues. Yes, go to pay some salaries. Yes, but they go to the people that negotiate your contracts, that get you the benefits, the raises. You know, in our local, we have legal services. I'm not going to go through all the benefits that it entails, but for you to just say, "Oh, this is a service, I pay you," is absolutely ridiculous.
It's pretty wild.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's pretty wild.
Like, take some fucking ownership, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't dismiss you from, you know, your work ethic, your responsibilities as an employee,
Yeah,
you know. I mean,
it is what it is, bro. You know, we could talk here till we're blue in the face. But that being said, I mean, elections are coming up here in Local 952, so keep your eye out for that. We'll have a couple episodes just kind of in regard to what's going on. We'll keep you updated when nominations are coming, when the vote's coming out, you know, all that good stuff. We'd like to try to, I wouldn't say open the floor to people, but I don't know about you, George, how you feel, but I'd be up for a debate. I think I'm fairly
yes, I have
solid on my positions and why I
have
vote the way I
definitely
vote.
suggested this to. We even tried to organize one time.
Yes, we
and
did.
It didn't pan out.
It didn't?
I definitely would like to, and we could also do this. It doesn't have to be in the studio. So, like, if maybe the person that wants to debate, we could go to you.
Yeah.
We can make a portable
In fact,
setup.
I'd actually rather go to you. Wherever you feel like is a neutral spot,
Yes.
by all means, we will come to you. We can
We'll
have a little
also
debate.
agree. We'll also agree on an unbiased mediator.
Yeah,
So
we
both
would
parties
have
have to
to.
agree on an unbiased.
We would
mediator.
have to.
And I mean, there we go. I mean, a little friendly debate. I mean, if anything, it actually helps both sides, you know, with their points.
I agree.
You know,
And it's funny because technically I'm not the one that should be debating, which I know that Eric has opened it up to that. He's willing to back his points. I know that for
Yeah.
sure. But it's just hard. I get dragged through the mud. You know, the administration gets dragged through the mud. People out there talking shit, and then, you know, trying to say, "Well, yeah, we'll meet to talk, but meet me at the police station." It's like, really, you're that scared? Really? Whatever, dude. Whatever.
the police.
Oh, we've heard it. And it's like, you can't just talk to me like a fucking man.
Yeah.
It's all good. Not worried about it. But that being said, we are open up for debate. A nice, friendly, gentleman's debate.
Pistols. Dueling pistols.
A gentleman's debate.
That being said, like I said, we got that coming up. We got the 100th episode. I'm super excited about
I'm
that,
definitely
dude.
excited for the.
I really am. We are trying to get it all together. It might take a couple weeks, just so you guys know out there. This is gonna play on the week after, or I guess say it's the week of Memorial Day.
We apologize for the late release of this episode. We're working hard to get back on track with the release of new episodes. With our 100th episode in the works, we ask for a little patience. Again, we're sorry for the wait, but we promise it will be worth it.
So, right, it'll be released Friday, and it's Memorial Day Monday, so it will be released. But just, you know, I fucked that up. Just let's have some patience. Please be patient with us. We're gonna get that episode out, but it's gonna take a little bit of planning. We want to make it fun for you guys. It's been 100 episodes for us, and it's kind of crazy that it's coming, that it's here.
Yeah.
But it's here. We've been doing it for a little while, and we're excited to share our journey with you.
Definitely.
So thank you guys for all you've done for us, for tuning in, for giving us a little voice, for, getting educated, getting excited. That's our thing, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, that was the primary reason we started this in the first place, is we just wanted to reach out to people that weren't informed, and people that, that maybe even can't even just get to meetings because they have to work on that day, or just anything, they're just wanted to learn anything about Teamsters in general or labor movement in general. I mean, the whole point is just to inform, and like we mentioned previously, is like we're just trying to also do both, inform and entertain. And I hope you guys find this to be both.
I don't want to be wasting my time for 100 episodes. No, we're just fucking with you guys. Yeah. But we appreciate you guys tuning in every week. Thank you. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Got anything for us, George?
Email us at ocst.000@gmail.com with all your questions, comments, concerns. If you have anything else, maybe you some a group of individuals that want to organize, just put that in there. Or you just want to shoot the shit. That's also cool.
Yeah. Please communicate with us. And then
also check out the Teamster Newsroom to stay up to date with all the Teamster business across the nation. So, I mean, not just literally with your own local, but literally across the entire nation. It's Teamster. I believe it's teamsters.org or teamsternewsroom.org. I'll have a link right here. It's also in the description, so check it out. They have a ton of really cool, interesting posts. They keep a wide variety of posts previously put up. I believe it's like almost up to a year, so you can just they have a bunch of stuff backlogged.
Teamsters are not just your barn, your shop,
your
location,
a lot of crafts,
or even your local.
A lot of crafts.
There's a lot of us out there. Yeah. You got to build up that household name, like Sean said.
100%.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.